Jake Paul rips Dana White for not paying his fighters, reneging on an alleged $1 million bet. Hello friends, and welcome back to a different video, where we post about Jake Paul ripping Dana White for not paying his fighters, reneging on an alleged $1 million bet. Jake Paul. Jake Joseph Paul is an American YouTuber, internet personality, actor, rapper, and professional boxer. He initially rose to fame on Vine for playing the role of Turkman on the Disney Channel series Bizaardvark for 2 seasons. Throughout his career, Paul has become the topic of many controversies thanks to his behavior, including engaging in risky stunts and featuring age-inappropriate material for YouTube, getting fired from his Disney television program Bizaardvark, and being charged with criminal trespass and unlawful assembly. Boxing career. On December 21, 2019, it has been announced that Paul will be making his boxing debut against fellow YouTuber Anason Gibb, also known as Gibb, on January 30, 2020. It has been announced on December 22 that Paul's third pro bout opponent will be the previous Bellator MMA and welterweight champion Ben Askren on March 28, 2021. After Askren accepted Paul's challenge, rumors of a proposed March 28 date in LA started circulating. On February 26, 2021, it will be announced that the fight would be persisted April 17 in Atlanta. Dana White. Dana Frederick White Jr. is an American businessman and therefore the current president of the UFC, which is the largest mixed martial arts organization within the world. Under White's leadership, the UFC has grown into a globally popular multi-billion-dollar enterprise. As of August 2019, White's net worth was assessed at $500 million. Jake Paul slams Dana White. Paul started this rant by mentioning the entire $1 million bet fiasco, calling White a real douche for not paying him $1 million, which White had promised. A few weeks before the Jake Paul vs Ben Askren fight, White had told boxing legend Tyson that he would bet $1 million on Askren to defeat Paul. However, the UFC Supremo never placed the bet, as depending on the fight wasn't legal. Despite that, Paul called out White, adding that the 51-year-old owes him $1 million. Jake Paul on UFC fighters pay. Paul then slammed White for enjoying UFC fighters, but what they deserve, that is some extent, that has been raised by many within a previous couple of months. Paul claimed that if White was indeed a true fan, Jake Paul asked White to pay both fighters $10 million each for the bout and provides them a cut for the pay-per-view revenue. It looks like the general public spat between UFC and YouTube star Jake Paul won't depart anytime soon. UFC President Dana White ripped Paul and Triller at his UFC 261 post-fight news conference on Saturday, saying the corporate lied about his pay-per-view buys and the way much money Paul made for facing Ben Askren earlier this month. Dana, you claimed you'd bet $1 million on me losing. Found out Askren to coach with Freddie Roach, gave him full access to UFC Performance Institute, and he still got his ass handed to him. Looks like you're the important dick. Not Ariel. In my third fight, I made more in total pay than any UFC fighter in history. Maybe it's time you pay your fighters the fair share. No wonder all of them want to urge into boxing. Dana, you say you create the fights fans want to ascertain, so hurry up and make John Jones vs Francis Ngannou pay them their justifiable share. $10 million purse for every guy, plus pay-per-view. Why are UFC fighters so underpaid versus boxers? Why did I make extra money in my third fight than Khabib and Conor, arguably the 2 best UFC fighters in history? I do know why. White allegedly made a verbal bet with Snoop Dogg on the Paul vs Askren fight, but when asked about it earlier in the week, White said he owed him no money. The numbers are there. Nah, I don't know if the numbers are there, White said. Do you recognize that would happen to the present guy? Paul fired back on Sunday. He issued a press release ridiculing White for supposedly supporting Askren financially leading up to last week's fight. Paul also criticized White for not paying UFC fighters extra money. Paul has gained the respect of some prominent people within the boxing community. He's unlikely to ever fight within the UFC, but the publicity he gets from public spats with people like White and Cormier can only help his brand. Whether you think he's an honest fighter or not, it's tough to argue against Paul's marketing prowess. I can tell you this, I don't owe Snoop $2 million. I never bet, White told Yahoo Sports on Monday. Let me make it clear right here to everybody. I even never have made an illegal bet ever. I didn't make an illegal bet Saturday night. I didn't bet $2 million with Snoop or anybody. To say there is no love lost between these two could be an irony. We'll see if White allows another one among his fighters to maneuver into boxing against Paul in the future. With this, we've come to an end with this video. We hope that you simply liked it. If you probably did, then confirm to love the video. And that we will see you within the next one.